Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. We have a bit to discuss, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. On the 27th of November, Skrill, the internet payment system, announced that they have added support for XRP to their cryptocurrency roster. The company has claimed that the decision was made after several requests from the XRP community asking the company to include the second largest cryptocurrency on their platform. On their official, I can only assume their Twitter handle, they said, tweeted, we're very excited to announce that XRP has been added to the list of cryptocurrencies you can buy and sell with Skrill. Thank you to everyone who has asked about Ripple. It's here, end quote. XRP's march towards adoption has been noteworthy, with other cryptocurrency exchange called VertPig announcing that Ripple's products will be next in line to be integrated on the cryptocurrency exchange. Reports about XRP's listing comes in the wake of a momentous bear market that brought down prices. Yeah, we know, we were well aware of exactly what's happening with the market. This is Skrill has announced that they have added XRP to their platform. When you check out the actual Skrill website, I have not used this myself before. As always, if you have used Skrill, if you have found Skrill to be good, and most importantly, if you have been able to access your funds, this is probably the most important part, i.e. when you request to have your money withdrawn, if you are able to withdraw your money rapidly, that is very, very important. Let other people know if you have used this platform, if it has worked out for you. They have many options to be able to buy cryptocurrencies. I guess maybe they haven't updated a huge part of the website. But yeah, I guess that's the one side. She looks very excited. One side of the news for this, and on the other side we also have this. Ripple's most popular offering, known as xCurrent, is getting an upgrade to version 4.0 and will now feature integration with xRapid. This will give customers the ability to complete cross-border transactions in milliseconds with the on-demand liquidity provided by the xRapid technology. The rollout of the newest version of xCurrent happened in September for Santander Bank and American Express, among others, but so far none of the xCurrent 4.0 companies have opted to integrate xRapid with their installation. Ripple SVP of product Ashish Birla has stressed that xRapid integration is completely optional. I remember when they were first talking about this, they said that it was only going to be rolled out to a number of institutions that they were working with. I assume that with the release of the xCurrent 4.0 that everyone who is using the former version of this is going to be able to have the possibility of integration with xRapid. I always talk about upgrades for different cryptocurrencies, so it's always nice to hear that they are slowly chugging along. And yeah, that is the, if you will, the XRP/Ripple/ xCurrent/ xRapid news that we have for the day. Next up, at this year's Crypto Frontiers conference in New York City, digital currency exchange known as Huobi announced that it will begin offering derivative contracts trading. The service will be available via Huobi derivative market, Huobi DM, to customers of select countries, and will allow them to open both short and long positions for a handful of coins. In an interview with Bitcoin Magazine, Joshua Goodbody, general counsel of Huobi's global institutional team, said, "Our derivative contracts are agreements to buy or sell an asset on a specific future date and at a specific price. Once a derivative contract has been executed, both counterparties will buy and sell at the agreed upon price, irrespective of the actual market price," end quote. When buying and selling these futures contracts, traders will have the option of a 5x, a 10x, or a 20x leverage. At press time, Huobi DM is in beta testing mode, and its services are unavailable to users in the US, Singapore, Israel, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, and Syria. Goodbody says, "We are taking things slowly, but we are working with our lawyers and the relevant regulatory authorities to assess the requirements in each jurisdiction, and we will take the necessary steps required to offer this in a compliant manner." Not really much information as to exactly what coins are going to be allowed on their futures platform. And I can only, it's kind of clear as to why the US isn't a part of this. Simply because if you've been around the last couple of months, you know that one organization kind of controls the entire thing that's happening within the United States as to who and what can offer futures products, and also no word if these are going to be physical futures. It's nice that they are dealing in cryptocurrencies and dealing in cryptocurrency futures, but it would be a bit weird if they are making a fuss out of this and they're not going to be dealing in the actual physical cryptocurrencies. I assume that as time goes on, since it's still in beta testing mode, that we're going to eventually get more news as to exactly what's going to happen. I'm hoping, or rather I am slightly hopeful, that based on what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks, or rather just what the New York Stock Exchange is going to do, that other companies and organizations could potentially start moving into more physical Bitcoin or cryptocurrency futures, what have you, simply because we want them to use the actual cryptocurrency. And we've seen how detrimental it can be when people are betting against cryptocurrency prices and they're not actually using cryptocurrencies, when they're betting against it with fiat. It kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, let's move on. Next up, Charles Hoskinson recently reported about the Cardano 1.4 update. According to the CEO, the update is progressing well with key solutions expected to take effect. This comes at a time when Cardano is struggling to trade above 37 cents, or rather 3 cents. Yeah, we know that the prices are going down for everything. Talk about more prices there. A few days ago, Cardano CEO Charles Hoskinson conducted an AMA, or an Ask Me Anything, on YouTube. Hoskinson talked about everything from technical aspects of the Cardano project to his personal life. I don't know why. During the discussion, he talked about the highly anticipated Cardano 1.4 update. According to the CEO, the update is in its regression testing, and although the team had encountered several regressions, nothing was of real concern. He also added that there has been a huge amount of refactoring on the core, and that there would be new data solutions. However, the biggest development update from the CEO remained the successful connection of their Rust code and their Haskell code. These will play a part in the back end of the Daedalus wallet. In a move that might just boost Cardano's position, the CEO announced that the update would be ready for launch late November. This is where we are right now, or in early December. On the 12th of October, Hoskinson announced that he and Emergo would assume the Cardano Foundation leadership role. This was followed by the resignation from the foundation's chairman, Michael Parsons. The CEO noted that the change was in response to the foundation's lack of delivery. This happened, around October. There was a bit of hold on, first of all, have to lower the brightness. My room is getting dark because it's nighttime and it's like burning my eyes. The point is, when this happened, a lot of people thought that there was confusion, that they thought that the Cardano Foundation was splitting apart, or that something had happened internally and that Charles Hoskinson was going to leave. But apparently what happened was that, for those who can find, the information is definitely out there. Charles Hoskinson was saying that he was a bit disappointed at what the Cardano Foundation was doing, that they weren't taking the appropriate steps, according to him, to be able to push for the adoption of Cardano, and therefore I guess he is going to be assuming a leadership role. He's very outspoken. I've never actually met the guy myself, but when you listen to him or watch what he's saying about other cryptocurrency projects, he hasn't really held back. And I mean, I think it's good in some aspects to be able to do things like this. Like, we have a lot of other cryptocurrency projects where the leaders of these projects are very, not docile, but they're very quiet, and they don't really speak up as much. Charles Hoskinson has made sure, and on many occasions, to lash out at just about every single other coin, because the point of Cardano is that they believe, or rather they are saying, that they have solved proof of stake and many other things in the cryptocurrency space because of mathematics done by scientists, and therefore their project or platform is going to take over. He's also said before that he would like the Cardano project to be the first $1 trillion cryptocurrency. That's not per coin. That means the entire market cap. I said that before, and somebody was like, how could Cardano ever get to $1 trillion per coin? And I shrugged my shoulders as well, because it's definitely not possible. It's nice to hear that this is slowly progressing along. I'm going to assume at this point, as we are at the end of November, that is probably going to happen sometime in early December. You also have a lot of people floating around right now asking questions simply because we heard earlier, or yesterday, that Coinbase had recently added a new coin, and now the last two on this list are Cardano and Stellar. Place your bets as to exactly which one's going to be first. I'm secretly hoping, and don't hate me for this, I still am waiting for that 1 cent Cardano just so I can get as many as possible, because Cardano is a very popular coin. I personally think it'll have a lot more success, me personally, at least in the short to medium term. It'll have more success than Ethereum Classic, than 0x, than Zcash, and probably even BAT as far as being on the Coinbase platform. We hit, once again, $1.20 last time during the bull run, and that was before Cardano was really even updated, had any other integration or other partnerships, if you will. I think the future is very bright for Cardano, but I'm still very greedy, and I would like to hit that 1 cent mark just so I can get as many as possible. But that is the Cardano news for today. Next up, Dash is in the news. Dash, the cryptocurrency for payments and e-commerce, has announced a strategic partnership with ePayments, spelled P-A-Y-M-I-N-T-S, for those who are not looking at the screen, a global merchant account and payments processing provider with expertise in both traditional and alternative markets. Through the partnership, Dash will work with ePayments, high-profile clients, to integrate Dash as a solution to the current pain points within today's traditional payments, focusing specifically on high chargebacks and cash-based industries such as gaming, higher education, and legal cannabis. Okay, why not? They said, oh, sorry about that. That was my headphones once again. They said, this partnership makes another key step in our mission to provide payment solutions for the problems many businesses experience with traditional payments. Cash-based and high chargeback industries pay much higher credit card fees on average, and that's why they are lucky enough to get credit card acceptance. Often that's not an option. Blah, blah, blah. We adopted it. So-and-so great. Currently, ePayments processes international payments for 195 countries, 135 currencies, and 47 partner banks, providing merchants from almost any industry the ability to process payments regarding of industry or location, along with the usual advantages of cryptocurrencies. Dash offers near instant transaction confirmation through its instant send feature, enabling point-of-sale commerce and replacing or replicating the payment speed of a credit card to provide a similar use experience. Dash is not a coin that we get frequent news about, as far as like updates, Dash 9.5 and all these other things. Like we, unless I'm not looking in the right places, we never really get an enormous amount of news from the actual Dash team as to the updates that they have or the new things that they are going to be implementing. I guess, I don't know. Maybe they're just doing stuff on the side. Whatever the point might be, whenever we do have information or news about Dash, it tends to be very good. It's never like something is going wrong, that they've lost funding, something is blah, 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 someone has left the project. It's always that they're being integrated into something. They're going to be available in 195 countries. There was also the news, for those who have or have not been paying attention, the news as to exactly what's happening in Venezuela with their currency, which is currently hyper inflated. And we also have information that people in Venezuela have been using Dash as a means of payment, which I thought was quite interesting for quite a long time, simply because they're not using like Litecoin or even Bitcoin in mass. The thing that has caught on within South America, or rather in Venezuela at the moment, has been Dash. And this also was something from the Dash team where they announced a couple of weeks ago that I'm assuming because of the popularity of Dash within Venezuela, that they had released something, it was called like Dash Text or something, where you're able to send it back and forth without the need of internet, which I also thought was pretty interesting because this is something that we typically don't hear about. Not that this is even like a major concern or should be a concern of anyone. When a lot of people are talking about the future of digital currencies or the future of digital anything, people tend to always mention everything is going to be integrated into some type of an electrical thing or the internet, and then, you know, what happens if we do lose the internet? And this is why I thought that the Dash Text thing was actually pretty good. Anyway, that's the Dash news for today. I'm glad to hear that they are still doing well, still chugging along during this bear market. For those who may have not realized, we have lost a lot of news from a lot of other coins. I don't know if it's simply them. There have been news about a couple of other coins who have been losing, not funding, but the funding that they had is now slowly drying up. 12 months for a bear market when everyone thought that the market was going to completely explode once again around March. has been a bit worrying for a lot of other cryptocurrency projects, but it's nice to hear that those who are still around still give us an okay amount of news to let us know that they are still being integrated and or partnering up with different countries or companies so that they are still advancing even though the market is running a bit low. But yeah. To finish this off, it says the tea leaves were swirling Tuesday after Jay Clayton, chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, dropped some hints about what regulators in the United States will and won't do in the crypto space in the coming months and years. It's important. Clayton gave a fireside chat in front of a packed room at the CoinDesk Consensus Invest event in Manhattan a couple of days ago. And while Clayton made it clear that he has given cryptocurrency a lot of thought over the last year, that is a lie. There was still plenty to read between the lines, including his thoughts on the exchange ecosystem and the question of when ICO-derived tokens count as securities. Following the onstage conversation, 3 longtime experts in crypto law dissected the nuances of what Clayton said during a taping of CoinDesk Live. We were joined by Caitlin Long, Wyoming Blockchain Coalition, Stephen Paley, and Lewis Cohen of DLX Firm. So as of now, these are not my words. This appears to be what other people are getting from the dissection of this man's words. They said, perhaps first and foremost, it doesn't seem like the SEC will greenlight a Bitcoin exchange traded fund or an ETF anytime soon. They said, I know there are a lot of folks who would love to have the ETF approved, but I don't think that's very likely. She pointed to third-party custody of crypto assets and market manipulation as 2 stated stumbling blocks for an exchange traded fund. We've had news from a number of experts who before thought that we would have or are going to potentially have a Bitcoin ETF by the beginning or Q1 of next year within the first 3 months. I think if we would, I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of the SEC, so I can't give you an accurate statement of anything that's actually going on. But I feel like we would have had something already, especially after 4 or 5 years of multiple companies trying to get these things pushed through. But the SEC has noted, or rather a couple of people within the SEC have noted over the last couple of months, that they fear that the market is still manipulated. They don't know exactly what's going on with the market. They think that the market's too unstable. The prices have gone down too low. There isn't enough, not that there's not enough, here we go. There's not like a proper custodianship. I think that's a word. There like no proper custody solutions for investors to be able to know that their money is safe. Not exactly what all of that really has to do with launching a Bitcoin ETF or allowing someone who's been able to deal in futures or an exchange traded fund to be able to do that on their own platform. But as of now, one, crypto does not need a Bitcoin ETF. I think a lot of people have been hung up on the fact that we need institutional investors, that we need their money, that we need their blessing in order for cryptocurrencies to kind of move forward. I want crypto to go back to where it was around 2013. I miss the idea that we were building something that was made for everyone and not just looking up at people with golden hands and golden fingers and waiting for them to kind of give us their information. Crypto has the way that the crypto market has spread, the way that we have captured the imagination of the world was done by us before all of these institutions and stuff like that came in. I don't think that crypto will ever get back there. I think there's far too much money. As of right now, according to some of the experts, they think that there is no Bitcoin ETF anytime soon. I actually don't really care. I mean, I would love if the prices would go up, but I think that crypto needs to move on and work on adoption. This is why I noted before. I don't know how many other people did it during the last holiday in the States. You know, actually talk to your family members and stuff like that. Like, get other people into crypto. I don't mean to keep beating this dead horse, but it's very important. Crypto spreads with us, you know. It's not just all about whatever. I'm going to move on from that one topic because there's actually more to cover. Clayton made it very clear that he did not trust existing crypto exchanges to prevent price manipulation. The panel noted that Clayton seemed to hint that some kind of move to get Bitcoin onto a regulated exchange may be underway, with panelists pointing to remarks made earlier in the day by New York Stock Exchange Chairman Jeff Sprecher. But Cohen argued that Bitcoin is a wild beast, and regulators may not appreciate how hard it could be to tame. That tells me, and I've said this for a while now, the old crypto is soon going to fade. The ones that are going to dominate, and I think this is why there's been such a huge push by Binance and by Coinbase to make sure that things are okay for institutional investors, is simply because that only regulated exchanges are going to be the main things. I wonder exactly how large of a move this is actually going to be in the beginning of next year when we have the New York Stock Exchange make their own cryptocurrency exchange. That is going to be a huge indication of exactly how far the market or the cryptocurrency space as a whole is actually going to move. It's nice to hear that we have at least some original people who are into the cryptocurrency space, who are still sticking around, who are still making up things and mainframes for everyday normal people. But everything seemingly, in my opinion, has moved towards the institutional investors. It's just how things kind of are. Same as I think with the Bitcoin ETF. But one of the things that's been mimicked for a long time, and I'm kind of getting sick of it at this point, is that government agencies around the world keep hinting or saying that we need proper custody solutions and that exchanges have to be regulated in order for crypto to be a place that's not scary, or, you know, so that everyone knows exactly what's going on, but it comes down to them knowing what's going on. To further tame crypto, Clayton also made it clear that anti-money laundering protections had to be put in place for crypto trading, and that's very important. I'll cover that in 1 second. Paley wondered what the implications of that push might hold for the body of retail investors that are active in the market today. She says, my question is, there's a lot of institutional money here. If you regulate it and you make market surveillance, will retail interests remain the same? This is something that has bothered me for quite some time, and I think that we are at the door. We're grabbing the door handle and starting to turn it. Part of the thing that my headphone keeps messing up. Sorry. Part of the thing that we need to hope for, I guess, at this point, when they say that they need to put protections in place on crypto trading, that's one thing. As long as we can deal in crypto ourselves and deal with it back and forth, that's another thing. That's how it should be, and I hope that it stays this way. The second part of this is, at some point, I think even Binance is also creating one of these. There's a huge push right now towards decentralized exchanges, exchanges where we can do things as we want, when we want, how we please on these exchanges, without any KYC or AML. You know, you can do what you want on these exchanges. As well as this, we're also, a lot of other coins have been working, a lot of other coin projects have been working towards like atomic swaps, so that you can swap between Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin at at a moment's notice whenever you kind of want to. I have a very strong feeling that a large part of this year, even though we did not get news for it, was probably some major government agency, institution, bank, or something like that, readying or getting the gears ready to be able to create their own cryptocurrency that they're going to try and have go head-to-head with Bitcoin. This is why I think we need unity in the cryptocurrency space. I think a lot of people hear me, but they don't really do anything about it. We're going to get to a point very, very soon. And 2018 was already a very trying year because it's very easy to pit people against each other in the cryptocurrency space. And the only way that we're going to get around that is by realizing that crypto is crypto and that it's for everyone, regardless of what coin you might love or you might say is better than any other coin. I think something is coming relatively soon, and I want to say even in 2019, where governments, I can feel it, where they've created something, whether it be a blockchain that they're going to try and say is better than Bitcoin, or it's another cryptocurrency that they're going to try and link to multiple countries to say that this is more superior and therefore, as it is backed by a government, should be used by people within this land. We're getting very close to it. And it's a matter of if people within crypto are still going to be fighting each other, because all they really need to do is to make you believe that it has more value than it actually does, and therefore you should use it over the cryptocurrencies that you have. I know for some people that's easy, but for other people it's going to be very difficult, and I think next year is going to be when this ends up happening. Whatever. ICO fundings and stuff like that. We know that the SEC doesn't really care for ICOs. Get it, got it, good. They're trying to make a move towards STOs, which are security token offerings. They're trying to make it so that anyone who's creating an ICO or any type of thing that they think should fall within their jurisdiction has to go see them immediately to let them know what's going on, so that the SEC can ascertain if it is okay for the general public or if they have to fall within the scope of what the SEC is saying. This is why I said, remember it had to be about 2.5 weeks ago at this point. Remember we had, I think it was Ether Delta, the cryptocurrency exchange that was told by the SEC that they had to pay fines because they were doing so-and-so. And a lot of people were like, that was a decentralized exchange. That was something that no one should have been able to touch. What they've been doing now, or rather cryptocurrency projects are doing now, is that they're making sure that a lot of people, and Andreas Antonopoulos was actually one of them as well. He actually said thank you to the SEC for shutting down Ether Delta, because it lets the Ether Delta 2.0 that it will eventually arise from it know exactly how to get away from the grasp of the SEC. They're trying to control as much as possible, because in their eyes, they think that they should have some type of a control over it. I have my own very strong opinions on this. I don't think that a law from 1933 should dictate anything in 2018, but that's my own personal idea on that. One of Clayton's messages from the stage was that the SEC's doors are open to startups working in the industry, particularly those that are issuing their own tokens. To this end, the agency launched a new fintech-focused division with the explicit goal of fostering communication with ICO startups. The panel agreed that what startups in the space want are so-called no-action letters in which the SEC confirms that they will not move against a company based on its business model. The letters have long been expected, but no startups have received one yet, according to Long. I'm as outspoken as I may be, I'm still holding a lot back, simply because I can go on a rant for a couple of hours about the entire thing. I think it's, I want to use the word immoral, but I'm not going to elaborate on that anymore. I don't think it's right that other people think that they have a right to control computer code that other people have written. I wonder what the main shift will be, and this is what I've been thinking for quite some time. You may have noticed I'm very excited about the New York Stock Exchange launching Bakkt, and that's simply because we're going to eventually enter a world where you don't have to cash out of crypto. And what's interesting about that is that a lot of what the SEC, the CFTC, and other government agencies have a problem with, at least right now, is that when you cash out of your crypto into fiat, you get, you have to do things. When you do so-and-so, you have to do, like, we're entering a world very soon, very quick. And I think it is going to be very quick, where you no longer have to cash out of crypto and you can simply pay for, let's say, even 15-25% of the things that are in the world right now with cryptocurrencies. I wonder how this will develop, how many other people will start accepting it for a lot of other things, like as in, like the implications of you wanting to buy a house or something like that, is simply being able to buy it in cryptocurrencies. What jurisdiction do these government agencies then have when you no longer have to swap into fiat to be able to do things in your life? I guess I'll kind of end that discussion right there. It's a bit frustrating for me, if you haven't noticed. On the side as well, the crypto market, at least according to CoinDesk right now, has been sliding down. Bitcoin has fallen down below 4,000. We are also entering the weekend, and typically before in the past, many other times, we've seen that the prices do go down over the weekend. I don't know if it's just a weekend slump, but I've always thought it's very weird, simply because the cryptocurrency market, unlike the stock market, doesn't sleep, if you will, quote unquote. So the fact that prices go down over the weekend is actually kind of weird. I don't know if it's just people around the world who are trying to rest and relax or get their mind off of finance over the weekend. But it's always a very weird phenomenon that I've found quite interesting that prices will go down at all. Anyway, that is definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I hope it's absolutely fantastic. It's very nice to have a complete avalanche of good news, regardless if the market is going up or down. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.